Welcome to Talking Heads on USA Global TV, starring the one and only wonderful Dr. Jacalyn. It's a prestigious place where world-class influencers and experts meet, and where you'll find the most trusted advisors and coaches for all things in life and business. Visit usaglobaltv.com to sign up for our newsletter, get the value you need, and be first in line to learn about events and giveaways and other valuable content. Connect with us. Email Dr. Jacalyn at usaglobaltv.com to talk about how you can become part of USA Global TV. That's USA Global TV, where the doctor is always in.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to USA Global TV, and hello to our friends listening on Business Talk Radio. I'm Dr. Jacalyn Kerbeck, and our show today is the Film and Music Show. And I am so excited to welcome our guest. My co-host, Madalene Chan, has the day off, so we look forward to having her back. Our guest today is a genuine humanitarian, someone who is multi-award winning. He is based in London in the UK, and he is a singer, songwriter, and an actor. But he brings so much more to his craft. He lives a life of purpose that is all about lifting up other people, finding the good in other people and the good in the world. And don't we need more of that? Absolutely. Let's welcome him to the show. Hello. Nice to have you back.
Hey, Dr. Jacalyn, how you doing?
Fantastic. How are you doing?
Hey, I'm wonderful, and it's a privilege to really be on here again. Honestly, I was very excited.
I'm really excited too. And there's so much to you that there's no way we could capture it in a couple of interviews. So I suspect you'll be coming back again, hopefully.
I appreciate you,
I appreciate you too. So let's just start off. Let's start now and go backwards. So there's so much going on in the world today, and people are living in fear, people are angry, people have mental health issues, and people feel isolated, maybe even manipulated by the media. What are your thoughts about us coming together and supporting each other instead of trying to break each other down?
You know what? I'm actually glad you brought that up, Dr. Jacalyn, because I actually have been thinking about that for a bit now. Now, this is how I see it. Because of the way the world is orchestrated, right? And it's only governed by a few people who are made to manipulate the millions of human beings in the population, right? Now, it was always the agenda for several years. PSYOPs were created, what things are put in the mainstream media, mainstream news, everything, it's not real, right? And as being an individual who speaks my truth unapologetically, I feel it's very important to let the world know that we are in a world of fabrication. We are in a world of distraction, and we are also in a world of manipulation. Now, as there is so much human beings in this population today, right? Many people are very unaware of their true power, of true source, which is internal, our consciousness, our state of consciousness, our heart's expressions, right? We was naturally made in this natural world that we are in to speak our truth, to always do what we know to be right, to always be able to speak beyond the three-dimensional realm of raising conscious awareness, raising love and authenticity into the world, which is a very cunning world that we're in. There's a lot of distractions that occur with secret societies. It's all been planned. There's always been a particular dimension, and I see it in terms of demonic forces or demonic societies. Right now, everything that's put into place, especially on the mainstream news, the mainstream media, the TV, what we see through celebrities, the politicians, the presidents, just the very few, the 1%, as they say. Now, everything is made to distract. It's never about really revealing what people really need to regarding how to better the world. Because when it comes to those standing forward to better the world, basically exposing the agendas of the occults, that people do not see, but they're hidden. So I feel with their agendas, it is to depopulate as many human beings as possible. That's why they create narratives. This is why they put people in certain positions to brainwash. So that's why, you don't see me watch the TV or the news at all. In fact, only to do research. And what I want people to understand with everything I'm saying, and not everybody has to agree with what I'm saying, but I only speak from my heart on the true deep place of everything I've observed, things I've been through, I've experienced. And I feel people need to understand that there is a lot hidden as to why who you see in the public appearance today, who exposes a demonic agenda, there are reasons for why they're put in place. And I feel what I want to put out there to the world is to take the time to do your research. And I understand everybody has their emotions. Everyone's going through depression. Everyone's going through some particular mental health. We all experience a particular mental health, whether this is mild or whether this is the opposite. But I feel as an individual, it's time to speak out. It's time to speak for the silent. It's time to not live in fear, because fear is an illusion. It's all an illusion. And what, the government, secret societies, and so forth, they play on people's vulnerability. They play on people's fear. So when they recognize that people are on a low frequency, this is where they celebrate through rituals, right? I know I'm speaking deep right now, but this is why we're here today, right, Dr. Jacalyn? And I feel it's important for human beings to understand their true source and to go right within themselves, to find out that the true source of really finding out what the world truly is, along with finding more about yourself, is to really discover who you are and your purpose and why you are here. Because once you discover that, you'll no longer abide by a demonic system or a society, because we are put in place to lead. We're not put in place to live as slaves. That's why I always say, for broadcast or music or anything, that mental enslavement is the real slavery. History has been manipulated over the years. And I feel what people need to understand is to recognize the patterns, recognize the routines, recognize the behaviors of those who are actually in the public eye, who are actually degrading many people, who actually have no idea apart from living up to a script that they have to abide by. Otherwise, there'll be consequences. So who you see out there are puppets. They're not leaders. We are leaders as human vessels. And that's why I feel once people find the true church, which is inside, they will know that the true light and the true leadership of compassion, authenticity, unconditional love is all internal. It's all a state of consciousness. And that's why we live that human experience, to be able to struck the light unto the unknown, so that we can really heal the motherland.
Wow, I really appreciate you, and I'm in alignment with a lot of what you're saying, because I really believe it's leadership of the heart. And
yes.
I don't watch the news either. We happened to have the news running last night, and I just noticed that there's nothing about COVID now. Now it's all about the war. Then it won't be about the war. It'll be about something else. And when you talk about being puppets, it's people are glued to hearing negativity for some reason. They're drawn into it. But what if we were all drawn into positive affirmations, leading with our heart? What would our world look like then?
Well, let's just say that there would be, we would be the symphony to many people's release, because it's not just a form of music or being a symphony. I mean, being a symphony in terms of internally of your heart's truest wealth, because that is the true source. That's how we connect with Mother Nature naturally. So I feel it's important for everyone to really, it's time to get out of our own ways, because how we have been conditioned, whether this is from birth or the influences that we surround ourselves by, or what we go through, who we encounter, because it does have a toll of your influence, and also how you view the world too. So it's important for everyone to think for themselves and not allow a particular psyop to dictate that they must believe what is automatically shown. But I feel it's important to question and to be curious of what is being advertised, because, as I said, it's all psychological warfare. That's how it's always have been, not even just today. It's been there for centuries. So this is now the time for our inner light to be that true source, and that radiation to be able to actually lift the foundation of millions of people. They say it takes one to show one, and that's true. And some will remain in their ways, and some will be open-minded and open-hearted. But once you be able to understand how your hearts really vibrate, which is your knowing, your heart is your knowing. So once you feel that enthusiasm with regards to looking beyond the three-dimensional realm, you'll be able to actually tap into who you actually really are, and your true infinite intelligence, your potential ability, and that's why you don't need a book to really define your life, because the natural world was made for us to live our freedom naturally until someone teaches you, I'm sorry, but we have to censor you from being truthful. We can't allow you to speak out about things. You're going to challenge our agendas. And that's what people need. People need controversy, because I feel if we just sat back and just ran with what we was given, then it's like we can look at ourselves as being slaves to the rhythm. Now, what rhythm are you actually moving and abiding by? Is it your own? Is it your own frequency? Or is it the frequency of those that are actually trying to manipulate you? And this is how it decreases lives of people, because of what people absorb negatively, and they become comfortable in that frequency, because they're not taught anything new. So they think that those that showcase everything mainstream wise, everybody's automatically going to believe it, because that's what this person said, that's what she or he said. But in order to find the real truth of everything, you have to dive into authentic sources, which means you have to go much more deeper, not only just in yourself, but also through the research you do, because you'll be very surprised, and you'll also at the same time will be very shocked with what you find out about those who you look up to, who you thought was actually for you and for the world and for love, is actually the opposite. So that's why we need to be able to see ourselves as our own inspiration and leadership, instead of keep looking up to too many people who are in the limelight. Because 9 times out of 10, most people who are out in the limelight have done many deceiving things in order to be where they are.
Lots of good points there. Something I want to zone in on is about the negativity. I know when I retired from my corporate career in 2020 and I started down the path with radio and now this, there were a lot of people who, I don't want to say a lot, but there were some people who threw stones, and there were people who threw rocks. And I actually thought about it. Why would someone take their time to be negative and insulting and demeaning? And now I look at it as they probably have something going on in their life that they have a tremendous amount of fear. Maybe they're in pain. Maybe they have health issues. Maybe someone they care about is suffering. And so they take that out on other people. How do you deal with that?
Personally, Dr. Jacalyn, I mean, when recognizing truly what's going on, it's like I take the time to really not sit back, but just recognize and be still, because we have to be still. Being still doesn't mean, not doing anything, but you're being still to actually observe things on a wider scale than just what is presently on the surface. So when I recognize all this negativity, because negativity naturally and really and being truthful, negativity and drama is what sells in this world, right? That is what people are entertained by. Drama and negativity and negative infiltrations that are put into the world. And I feel people need to have this understanding with themselves that we are living a temporary human experience in our lives, right? And it's a matter of what are we actually dedicating our lives to? Are we dedicating our lives to calming the noise, or actually bringing more hell raising to this cunning world that we're already in? Because the world can be very beautiful, and that's why I'm still hopeful in all my contributions of what I give, because I feel that if I just sit back and allow everything to happen, then I feel that I'm doing myself a disservice and many people in the world a disservice, because sometimes you really have to speak for the lazy people. You have to speak for the laziness, because it really takes a shepherd, because shepherds are the engravements of leadership, not sheeps, shepherds. And we are accustomed to what we are naturally used to on a daily basis. Now, I feel once people learn to change the pattern and look and have an open mind and open heart, you'll be able to access different realms that actually can show you truly a reflection of what the world can be, depending on your inputs. And that's why our internal inputs are everything. So we can have the best health that we can have in this world. But because, health organizations or banking systems or, just society's period and stuff, everything has been inverted. So what you think is for you, what was supposed to help you, is actually here to dim your light and actually decrease your lifespan. Now, and that's why people need to find out what is natural in this world. Once again, the natural world is the original world. Now, don't allow people to take that original world away from you, because what is natural is what is the cure for this world, and that is our hearts, and also how deep within our own chakras that we tap into. There's many realms. There's many realms of us, and only mass majority only see a minimum amount of the realm. They only go by the senses, but they don't go beyond it. And this is why people suffer due to lack of knowledge and understanding, when in fact what people might find very difficult and complicated can be actually very simple if we understand that if we're all in unison with one another. It's like we are more powerful than any given demonic society or system, because we are here to make our own choices of what we choose to believe in, even if those disagree. And I'm fine with that. And I believe many other people will be fine with that too. Because the more you keep thinking about what people think or how they view you, the more you are going to continue to live as a slave and abide by their expectations, when in fact, those who are out to do harm to others are those that hate themselves. They are insecure. So people who have these insecurities are the ones who are out here to destroy people from and avoiding their own traumas. And that's why when it comes to insecurities, it's bearable or it's unbearable, depending on how you cater to your own growth and your internal doings. So the world can be beautiful, but it does go down to choices of what we expand within ourselves to just see the world for what it is, and to not live by a script, because we are the ones in control and writing our story. So we all got a choice. It's a choice.
We all do have choice, that is for sure. And we don't use a script here either, because I want it to be an authentic conversation, and to just have you be able to speak about your truth and how you feel. I want to talk a little bit more about your music now, and as your journey as an independent. What does that actually mean for people who are, he's won all these awards, he's so talented, but yet he has his own label, his own independency, as opposed to being aligned with a record label. Is that correct?
That's correct.
So please share more about that.
So when it comes to being independent, you really are the one who's sailing the ship. You are the one who's sailing your own ship. Now, when you begin to study, once again, what the world is like, how the industries work, how people operate, the experiences you encounter, the people you encounter, the energies you encounter, the agendas you encounter, it really just teaches you a lot about what is and what isn't. So because I've always been curious about the world generally, I always knew who I was and who I am and for what I stand by. So I believe in being open-minded, and I believe in being open-hearted. That's always a constant. But it's important to know that if internally it's not in alignment with yourself with regards to choices or who approaches you about opportunities, you don't have to take that offer. You're not pressured to taking an offer if it's going to do you a disservice and also resulting to you being less of who you are. So why I wanted to be in control of my destiny, and it's been years, but it's been a path of it's taking a lot of time on my journey to be at a certain place, because I don't cut corners. I never cut corners in my life, never have. Can't even tell you one time I did. Myself, I knew how I wanted to see the world. I knew that the world needed love. The world was fabricated. The world needs to be nurtured. I knew that what people yearn for was always love, right? So I looked at, with my experiences, my painful experiences, you know, just throughout the serving times, even though the serving times were your actual service, because it made you more of who you are. It made you more vibrant. It made you more authentic. It made you more in control of your foundation. Now, I believe that you're not out here to seek for any approval or any particular validation from anyone in this world, because you are your own validation. Naturally, you are. Now, why people seek for that? Because they think someone can take them to the next level or take them up the ladder. Now, here's the thing. Now, we are our own kings and queens, naturally. That's just what we are as royalty. That's what we are. So it's important that we live up to, you know, the standard. And what I mean by standard, I mean in terms of living up to what's true in your heart. That's the standard, living up to what's true in your heart. Now, it has been challenging for me over the years because I've been people can say that I'm rebellious, but I would only say yes, which means I would only rebel towards things that will do me a disservice, which means I will say no. And it's okay to say no. Now, because there's been at least 5 to 6, actually 7 record label offers. Now, very big names, right? It's out there. It's everything you see. I have been approached by those labels before. Now, I'm not going to give those names, but they're mainstream labels that could have determined myself being famous. And it's the truth, because I've encountered many people at meetings, and they've told me the deeds and the deeds of what it takes to be famous. But it wasn't about fame for me, because if I had chose the option of fame, I would be leaving a soulless life, which means not having a soul that belongs to you. And I mean that actually is real. What people could think is a conspiracy theory, which was in fact created by the CIA, by the way, which they create that so that it censors people who speak on their truth and find out what's actually been going on with the industries or whatever's going to be going on in the world, period. Now, I am thankful for having this strength in me internally, for persevering for several amount of years to be able to stand here, still do what I'm doing, develop on what I'm doing, growing on what I'm doing, and becoming more powerful with my projection and the amount of people it has touched. It has raised their lives. It's made people, you know, it's prevented people, you know, from not taking their lives. Right. And this is what I said in our previous interview, Dr. Jacalyn, is that you're here to be able to save the population. You're here to save humanity. And how you do that is through your internal inputs that you put into yourself, into your art, in your craft. Because this has always been more than music for me. This is really for justice. And I mean that so sacredly. And for those who know me dearly, and for those who are getting to know me, and for those who don't know me, I feel what people will receive from this particular answer of mine, an expression of mine, is that I'm here to really calm the noise for the better. I'm here to erase the negative infiltrations one day at a time. Do I know all the answers? No, I don't. But do I know everything I've accomplished and what's been working with me, even though those have hindered and they've actually have stopped a certain avenue of me getting opportunities mainstream wise, which doesn't mean that there isn't a way of me still getting where I go, because I've been creating my way ever since without people being surrounded by me or having a certain team. Because I understand having a team, but you can't just work and be around just anyone. Because once you reveal your life to someone, that is very naked. It's a very naked thing. It's a vulnerable thing to reveal your life unto someone else who is in the same circle. Because you got to be wary that many people do not give a damn about your heart's desires, about your purpose, about your music, about your substantial lyrics. Everything is about a money game. It's a very dark world. It's a very dark industry. So just how you see how things are operated in the world is the same thing with the entertainment industries and industries, period. So I've, achieved, a good amount of accolades over the time, even though I wouldn't really go too much in depth about accolades, even though it's the man that makes the award, not the award makes the man. But when you receive something of recognition for not selling your soul to any particular devil, or you've actually not cut corners, but you receive the recognition because people understand and they get what you're doing, that is everything to me. Because I'm just really here to be a light source, to light up the darkness, because it's a very cruel world and I'm tired of it. So this is why I use all of my experiences to turn it into something proactive. I go through my own struggles daily, but I put my struggles, my pain, my frustrations, the shortcomings, whatever it might be, into my art, into myself furthermore as a man, to being better than myself than the previous day. It takes constant work when you dedicate your life to really saving the world, because it is natural weight you take on for being independent. You are a one-man show. You are a one-man show. You call the shots and you let the world know, because many people have been surprised. And it says, Leyton, do you have a big team? Because look at all these things you're doing. How did you create this in such a short space of time? How did you do it? And then I said, well, I can't look left or right, because it was me who put the contributions in, which is very rewarding that way. And it can be, exhausting, because I'm a human being. I'm only a one man. So, but I'm thankful for the fact that I am a one man and have been a one man all this time, which doesn't mean that, one doesn't need assistance or for those to help or assist and lift, because I want people who do come on this journey to see this journey for the fact that, you know what, Leyton, you've done enough. Now let me step in and lift your vision without having to mold you into something else, because you've molded yourself into your own soldier. Now let us be soldiers together and get the love reinvention out there for the sake of the beauty in this world. Everything.
Yes.
Everything.
It's there's a lot there to unpack, for sure. And
yeah.
And you channel that into your music, and we're going to play. We've got 3 clips today, so I'd love to start with one to make sure we get them all played today. Tell us about Find Yourself.
Find Yourself. So Find Yourself is actually the name of the actual album. Now let me just give a description of the album so people know what it conveys and entails. So it defines the unraveling of soul suppression, invigorating minds and spirits of the hurt through love and self-devotion, the awakening authentics of empowered intimacy. So with Find Yourself, the actual song that represents the album, Find Yourself really means going within. Find Yourself really means, if you're going to surrender yourself to going back into claiming power that belongs to yourself internally for a beautiful world and for your own beautiful world and the lives of many. So Find Yourself is really a thing. We're always consistently finding more of the man and the woman that we are every day, because there's so much going on. And it's important that we have a grounding and a foundation that we know where we can lean by to help push us back to where we need to go necessary. So I felt Find Yourself was a very universal title, because everybody's going to relate. Everybody is going to understand the message behind it, because the reason why I love to sing is to enhance the world. No more segregation, but speaking life into vessels, encircling love and leaving timeless memories. That's what Find Yourself defines, and that's why I feel it has a projection, where I feel this really can heal the world the more things expand with the journey, because that's why, even though it's not where it needs to be overall, but it's where it needs to be currently at this time. So I have to have acceptance over that, even though there's always so much me pouring out, because I just want to just get everything out and really just serve the world in the ways where they can be healed, and just to really just like alert the true light that we are. So Find Yourself is very universal. It's something we all are doing every single day. So I wanted to just be a vessel, and a symphony to release for people.
All right, let's take a look. Find Yourself. Let's enjoy.
We love you, Leyton.
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 One day, the world will see, hear, and experience my purpose. 'Cause I'm so sick and tired of addiction.
We love you, Leyton.
Thank you so much, Dr.
Oh, I got
Jacalyn.
chills. Your
Thank
voice
you.
is so beautiful, and the message is just so on point of what we need. And by the way, those outfits, wardrobe, woo, loving it.
Thank you so much, Dr. Jacalyn. It was truly everything poured out of my heart with everything, honestly. It's
I
everything.
can feel it.
It's everything, honestly.
How do you feel watching it?
You know what? I feel emotional every time watching it. Truthfully, I do. Because it's like, I really see, just looking at it, I look back at it and then I just think, you know what? Just imagine this being on a very massive stage with so much sea of people who are there to actually feel your sincerity. It's truly everything to me, because it's like people are there because they're there to actually celebrate in unison with everything that you've been fighting for to help the world do, to help the world heal. And now they're there to say, don't worry, Leyton, we've got you. We've got you. And we understand, and we also lead by that purpose. And people feel that influence. They felt that influence, and now they're doing something with their own expressions to be able to be their own light to serve others. So it honestly does make me cry sometimes. Truthfully, it does. It does.
Well, I am just so grateful that you're here today. And I said this before, what you are doing, you are standing up for what we need. We need more people doing what you're doing and just shedding light and love in this world and
Mm,
not beating up each other. So please keep going and doing what
always.
you're doing. I know we have two more clips, but we are out of time, unfortunately. But I would love to have you come back. Will you?
No, hey, absolutely. I know we've also spoke about a different show as well that you're doing, The Power of Listening.
Yes.
It would be an absolute honor, wherever there's an opportunity to come on to really just speak to the world and just to showcase what I feel the world needs. That's why I feel, the world truly needs, my expression, because the expression is very, there's non-resistance to everything. And when you live by the power of non-resistance, you are so unstoppable. You really are the true spokesperson for the liftment of the kids, the youth, the generations, the different creeds, the categories, whatever people want to put in categories. But let's not put categories. Let's not put labels, and because we're all a state of consciousness, having our human experience, and also we are all completely one as a natural. So that's why the expression's there, to bring people back to their full authenticity.
You are truly a guidepost, a beacon of light, and an outstanding person. I just am so grateful to know you and have you here. You are welcome back anytime. And
Thank you so much,
we're going to
Dr.
get that
Jacalyn.
book soon. For people who would like to contact you, we have your website information. Here it is. You can contact him and purchase his music at his website. And for people listening on the radio, that is leytonbenta.com/music.
Thank you. And that's where the main source where everyone can go to. I mean, social medias are social medias, but I feel once people tap into the actual website, you'll be able to find a lot more, and it will eventually lead to the social media platforms, because, as I said, there has to be a heart of the place that scatters out the other seeds.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you, my friend. I look forward to
Hey,
having you back again. And thank you for being here
thank
today.
you. Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much, Dr. Jacalyn. So much love. Thank you.
Back at you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you, everyone, whether you're watching on the live or watching on the replay. We're just so happy to have you here and have Leyton sharing what I feel is so important. That's what this platform is all about. It's about positivity. It's about inspiration. It's about lifting up each other. If we want to hear bad news, turn on network television. You can hear it all day long. That's not what we're about here. So thanks for those of you who are on this journey with us. As I mentioned, each show you can watch us live on our YouTube channel, as well as Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, Twitch, and you can listen on Business Talk Radio. And afterwards, you can watch us any of those places, and also on our website, usaglobaltv.com. If you'd like to be a guest, please go over to our website and you can book your session. Just a quick couple of things for people who may not be aware. In addition to being the founder and running this platform, I also have a second business, which is drjacalyn.com. I am a certified life and career coach. I'm a certified meditation teacher and a certified yoga instructor. And I teach people how to listen. I'm the listening mentor. And so if you would like to be part of our elevated listening community, please go over to my other website, which is drjacalyn.com/join. I truly believe that when we learn how to listen without judging other people, without coming up with solutions, without interrupting people, without trying to overdo their story. Oh, I have a better story. Then we will learn how to listen at an elevated level and find inner peace and be part of the solution to world peace. That's what I stand for. Thank you again for being here. Our next show is coming up. It's The Wise Ones. And following that, we have our Talking Heads, which is an expert presentation team. And today is Red O'Laughlin. He will be sharing something about longevity. So you can learn more about that. Please stay where you are. I'm going to run over to the other studio and I'll be right back for our next show. Thank you again. Bye, Leyton.